Chat. Kettlehead numbers. I started working with Kettlehead a little over a month ago, about a month and a half ago. I talked a little bit of numbers before because we did the numbers from June 13th until July 6th or something. So about 3 weeks, little over 3 weeks. And chat had done $16,000 in popcorn sales, which netted me $1,600. And that's good. That's good because originally I was going to be paid $1,000 just to be sponsored by them. And then Dylan turned that down because he had never worked with creators before and he didn't know what creators were worth. And so then I approached him and I was like, okay, I get 10% of all the sales that I make. And then I made $1,600 instead of $1,000. Get fucking scammed, Dylan. Shit. Get fucking scammed, idiot, dumbass bitch. You know what I'm saying, guys? Played him like a fiddle. So that was the first 3 weeks that we did the sponsorship. And that sponsorship is still going on. Currently, if you go to kettleheadpopcorn.com, you can use code FROST. You get 10% off your order. But these last 4 days, just 4 days, the last 4 days, there has been a 20% off sale on Kettlehead popcorn. It is only available in the United States, in the lower 48, not available in Alaska or Hawaii. I do not have the exact number of orders. I could actually maybe, wait, hold on. Can I get that real quick? Approximately 335 orders. I'm just looking at the spreadsheet right now and doing the last line minus the first line, but there's a couple of lines in there that were for like refunds and then a couple of lines in there that were just bullshit. So approximately 335 orders in 4 days. And all of that equated to $14,000 in sales. In money. Sorry. This is total profit. This is after the discount. This is the subtotal. This is the fucking subtotal. This is the discounted prices was just under $14,000 in 4 days. And this is just from me. This is only people that used code FROST. And I know that there's 2 orders that didn't use code FROST that messaged in right now that he has to add on. So it's going to go up by just a little bit. And there's probably a couple more. But there were also people that, because he has a bunch of people's emails from the years of working at Kettlehead. So he sent out a 3,000 person email blast. So probably made a good chunk of change also off of that. This is gross profit or after cost? This is just gross profit. This is just literally the number. This is the amount of money that you guys paid, not including shipping. If anybody paid shipping, then you technically spent more. But this is how much Kettlehead will receive in the check whenever it gets paid out. Like this is the amount that squarespace.com is going to pay. Yeah, this is revenue. So in order to figure out how much I get paid, because I like to be transparent with you, you divide this by 0.8 in order to get the original price. So if you guys didn't have the 20% off discount, you would have spent $17,400. And then in order to figure out how much I make, you just move the decimal over 1 because I make 10%. I make 10% of the original price. So I made $1,743 and something cents. I don't fuck. Math sucks. Stupid. In 4 days. Pretty damn good to me, baby. Pretty damn good to me, Twitch chat. Streamer made $170,000. Holy fuck! Go buy some popcorn if you haven't already, but I just wanted to break this down, and I like to be transparent where I can, and Dylan's like, yeah, share everything. And that's another reason why I like working with him. Did you tell us the thing you couldn't tell us when the sale was over? Yeah. I would share with you a funny anecdote. Dylan sent me a text yesterday, and it said, note from the buyer. Not a gift message, but would it be really cool if you could throw in one of each of the Frost Prime stickers? Totally get if not. And I said, does that work on you? And he said, yeah, I'm a big puss. So just letting you know that if any of you had pleaded and begged with him over the last 4 days to send both of the stickers, he would have done it. Because he's a little fuck baby that always has to please everybody and their little desire if it doesn't make his life any harder. So you all got scammed. At the end of the day, Frost Prime wins again. Scammed again. Why do you support Kettlehead so much? Good question, Frankie. So I discovered them just being out and about in the world. And I live in Denver, Colorado. After looking them up, they're a Denver local company. They're a 4-person operation, 2 men, 2 women. Started talking to them, right? I just walked in and I was like, hey, I'd love to work together. One of my goals for this year, I wrote down 4 goals streaming-wise, 4 goals gaming-wise, right? And one of my 4 streaming goals was to find a long-term sponsor that I feel I am as crazy about as they are as crazy about having me. I could go to a fucking G Fuel and I could get the same code that I have with Kettlehead, but it's with G Fuel. But would I like really give a shit about having a G Fuel sponsorship or a GamerSup sponsorship? GamerSup's the company that has made a Tectone flavor. Not really going to be that excited about that. I found a small local company that does online sales very efficiently. I had ordered online from them before to test out their online sales, right? To see how the whole process worked. And I went in and I just said, "Yo, what up? You want to work together?" And he said, "I don't really know what I'm doing because we're a small company and I've never done this before." And I was like, "Bet, I've never done this before either. I just walked in because I really like your shit. I really like the popcorn." He was like, "Damn, yeah, let's work together." Met with my agency. My agency doesn't like to do affiliate codes, right? The you guys buy something, I get a kickback monetarily. But Dylan, having never worked with a creator before, didn't know what a creator's value is, so didn't feel comfortable with signing on for paying me $1,000 a month, right? That was what my agency was asking, was $1,000 a month, 20% of which, so $200, would have gone to my agency because that's the agency's deal. They work out deals. They don't get paid unless they get me paid. So it's kind of like a realtor. They couldn't come to a deal. They messaged me that. They were like, "Yeah, we couldn't come to a deal. Dylan's just too new to this. They're too small of a company. They just bought a new place. They just bought their warehouse where they're making all the popcorn now. So they're just not comfortable with taking on that kind of an expenditure right now." And so I texted Dylan because I had his number. I was like, "Yo, how did it go?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's talk. Meet me. You want to meet up at this distillery?" I met up with him and he was like, "Yeah, I just don't know what I'm doing with this. I'm too nervous about it." I was like, "All right, bet. What would you rather do?" And we had discussed before about maybe doing this code that gets me 10%. Because I'm like, I just want to work with you and develop a relationship with you because after meeting you, you seem really cool. Meeting your employees, they seem really cool. And I like the product. So I'm willing to do the affiliate deal, which my agency told me, "Yeah, if you do an affiliate deal, that's on you. And you don't have to pay us anything because we're not going to like do any of the work for that." In the first 3 weeks of the deal, I made $1,600 by selling $16,000 worth of popcorn. In the first 3 weeks, a month and a half ago. So I made more money because the product fucking pushes itself, because it's fucking dope. I eat this shit every day off stream without having to be paid. And let me be very clear. I'm going to do a little sketchiness here. I don't actually have a contract with Dylan because we're friends. We are friends first. And that might be a giant fucking mistake. And you might see a twit longer from me a year down the line of how Kettlehead popcorn didn't pay out $500,000 to charity. But I know this guy personally. I know where his house is. Now, that's not like a threat or anything, but that's our relationship. I play cornhole with him every other Thursday. He's come to my house before. He's met my beagle. I have yet to meet his 16-year-old beagle. I really want to go meet him because there's like not a lot of time left on that clock, so I should meet him. It just is what it is. And then I'm going to engage him and Hardy Boy in a brawl. Hardy Boy's going to win. It's going to be a whole thing. This is not a threat. Immediately lists known information and weaknesses. I know where you live. Your weakness is your dog. But no, also, another reason why I like to work with them is literally, I can tell you the numbers, right? If I worked with another company and I say, "Hey, can I share the numbers of how much money we made in the first week or the first day of this sale?" They're going to say no, because that's like old boomer shit where you're not supposed to share money or success. How did you decide on 10%? It seemed fair at the time. It seemed fair, easy to calculate, easy to track. And it was also like I don't know how successful this is going to be at the start. And then we might discuss it later. And I think if we discuss it later, I'll probably get something in writing. But right now, I think we're still in the feeling out stage. We're only on the second month, barely on the second month. We started on the 13th of June was the day that we started. It's currently the 22nd of July. We're barely been working together a month. We're just feeling it out right now. We're feeling each other. We're putting our hands on each other. You know what I'm saying? I put my hands on him is what I'm saying.
On a noble quest to escape the wrath of the IRS. He's got conflicting positions in the endless fight for queer folks and